What's up, guys? Back at you, little about a lot. Today I turned into a man. I got myself a planer. And not only did I get myself a planer, I also got myself a multi-purpose planer and miter stand, which I'm going to use for the planer itself because I have a stand for my miter saw. But let's go ahead and unbox these, see what it looks like, run a whole bunch of wood through them, and let me tell you what I think about it. I end up going with WEN or WEN or however you want to pronounce it. They're a little bit cheaper, but their reviews are pretty good. So instead of buying a $600 or $700 DeWalt planer and then a $200 stand, I went with this. I think I might be pleasantly surprised when I put all this stuff together. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of assembly, and then the planer itself, I think it's just going to come out of the box. So let's put this together, set it up. So it went together pretty well. I mean, all the holes lined up, all of it's the same bolt pattern, 13 millimeter, did all the bolts. Like I said, they all lined up and everything. I really like this stand because it had the extension arms and the outfeed rollers here, which would make it really nice, I think, when you're pushing a big piece of wood out there, and that way you have just a little bit of extra control when you're using those long pieces of wood. Like I said, everything lined up. It looks pretty good. It's got this foot roller in the back. When you push it down, it allows you to roll back and forth. And then, when you push it down, it drops it, and so it's stuck on the ground. And then when you push it, when it comes back, you can roll it, which is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and throw this planer on there and get it secured down, and then we can talk a little bit about specifics on what model it is and what miter stand I went with, or what table stand I went with. Alright guys, this was actually pretty easy to put together. The miter stand, or the planer stand, as well as the planer itself, came pretty much assembled. All I had to do is put the adjustable handle on, and that was really about it. Pull off a couple removable covers, and so this I've been wanting for such a long time. The reviews are mixed. Most of them say it's pretty good. There's some bad reviews, but that's pretty much with anything, I think. So like I said, I've been wanting this for such a long time. I do lots of projects, lots of 2x4s, lots of 2x6s, 2x8s, and it'd be nice just to be able to plane them down and make them look really, really good. So the stand itself is model MSA 658. Like I said, it has the extendable arms here with the rollers, and for long pieces of wood, I think this is really going to help out. This is the 13-inch planer. And as far as I know, it's either the 2019 or 2020 model. And so we're going to run a whole bunch of boards through this thing and see if it takes it well, see what it does. to say, coming right out of the box, just sending a whole bunch of wood through it without adjusting it, without knowing much about it, it worked very, very well. I didn't put any like really large pieces through it. I didn't put any 12 inches or 13-inch pieces through it. I ran a whole bunch of 2x6s through it. And so, man, that was pretty awesome, really. I mean, that was pretty awesome. So I'm actually gonna flip the boards and see if I can do it long ways. I don't know, we'll see. Using it kind of like a joiner worked pretty good. Now obviously it's probably not going to get right at 90 degrees, but that's really not what I'm looking for when I'm building some of this stuff. If you're looking for a master craftsman, all that kind of stuff, you know, getting a joiner is going to make it right at 90 degrees. This didn't make it nice and smooth on the outside, which every 2x4 has that round over on it. And so I was able to get rid of that round over, make a nice crisp edge, and really took those boards and made them pretty nice. So if you're looking for a planer, I'm not sponsored by any means. I bought this 100% price, and WEN or WEN is really not a bad thing. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm pretty impressed, really. I've put, I don't know, 600 board feet through this thing for this table I'm about to build. And, you know, really the sniping on it is sometimes not good and sometimes really, really good. And really, I think it has to do with the thickness of how much you plane off. And so, let's see here. So this one almost has no sniping at all. I mean, I could barely even feel that with my finger. But on this side, it's a little bit more right there. I know it's kind of hard to see. But really, you know, 2x4s don't come 100% truly plain all the way across. So, you know, it may have just had a little bit more to take off here at the end. Then on this side might have been a little bit thinner than this side. And so I think that maybe has something to do with how much snipe is on the end of them, because some of them don't have snipe at all. And then some of them aren't very good with sniping. So I think you could probably just sand it off or just run it through the planer one more time. I'm so excited for this, guys. You don't understand how exciting this is to be able to get this to make some 2x4 wood and be able to sand it down, get it all nice and even, because when you're putting those boards together to make a tabletop and they're not lining up perfectly because they're just different widths, this is going to solve that problem, and my gosh, it's going to help out so much. So if you're in the market for a planer, I would keep this one, you know, top 2 or 3 at least. Now if you have the money to go out and get a DeWalt or something like that, maybe, or even a rigid, you know, maybe go do that. But if you're looking for one that's kind of a hobby, you're not commercial, you're not making a whole bunch of stuff, look into the WEN, man. Pretty good. Like I said, this is the 13-inch one, and you know, it's really not loud. My shop vac is probably almost twice as loud as this thing, so it's really not that loud. And it doesn't 100% suck up all of the sawdust in here. It does leave just a couple of here, but like I said, I've put some board feet through this thing already. And if this is all that puts down at the bottom of it, I'm okay with that. And it also has an adapter to it, so you can hook up a couple different hose types. And I have my 3-inch on there right now. It doesn't fit snug, but ooh, it's hot out here right now today. Whew. But it's pretty simple. I mean, it has a gauge right here. The front kind of gives you the depth of what you're cutting through, and then when it's actually cutting, it actually shows you right here how much you're cutting. Whether it's 1/32 or 1/16 or anything. It says basically don't go above 1/32 of an inch. Doesn't ever recommend you going above 1/32 of an inch. And I can actually attest to that for sure. I like it, guys. I like it. The extension arms were pretty nice when I was putting down some of those 7 feet long pieces there. It rolled right through, gave me a little brace in the back. I can slide them out even further and help me even more. And so that actually helped, and then even one in the front helped too, and they just glide nice and easy. I didn't have any issue with them. You can line them up nice and easy with the top of the planer there. And yeah, guys, I'm pretty excited about this. And WEN is really not that bad of a deal. And I've put some boards through a DeWalt, and I really don't see much of a difference here. Plane them nice and slow, take off a little bit at a time, take your time doing it. And guys, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised just like I was. And I'm glad I got this, and I'm glad it's going to help me out all these projects and things like that. So until next time, I'll see you on the next one.